Almond is suing his former friend, Elena Smith, for an unpaid car loan given to Elena after her release from prison.
Court come to order. All rise.
Judge Judy.
Have a seat, everyone.
Kevin approaches the bench.
Hello, Judge. Case 2166, Hammond versus Smith.
Thank you.
Judy turns to Stewart.
Mr. Salmon, the long and short of this case is you met the defendant on some sort of a website. She was in prison at the time. You began to see her. She got out of prison. You gave her a certain amount of money that you consider gifts to her, but then she asked you if she could borrow money to buy a car. You gave her $2,600 with the expectation of being repaid, and this is your lawsuit, correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. And your answer to him said, well, it was never really anticipated that I would give him back his money, only I said I would give him back if I got my stimulus money. I didn't get my stimulus money, so I'm not paying him back. That's what the case is about. Simple. So let me get a couple of pieces of information from you. From when to when were you in prison?
January of 2019 until June of 2022.
For what?
Several things. I did any thefts and stolen firearms.
And?
That was it.
Was there one indictment or more than one indictment?
One federal indictment and 23 counts for state.
Which state?
Washington.
Was it the first time you were in prison?
Yes.
Did anybody else go into prison as a result of the same case?
No.
At what point during your stay in prison did you begin to communicate with Mr. Salmond?
Somebody had put me on a prison pen pal website, which I wasn't aware of until I got a message from him. I took myself off the site. That site's usually for people to get things from people, money in their books, packages. So we started talking, but...
When? Give me a month and year.
It was in April of 2019.
So right away?
Yeah, about a few months after.
Right away. And you were in jail, so you clearly stayed in touch with him.
Yeah.
How often did you stay in touch with him?
We corresponded maybe initially once every couple of months.
And then?
And then I was taken from prison to Spokane in November of 2020 for a federal indictment. I was gone 6 months.
To serve time on a federal indictment?
Not to serve time, but to be indicted and sentenced.
And were you?
I was.
To what?
6 months.
In the same prison?
No.
Different prison?
Yeah, I was supposed to go after my state to go to my federal time.
Now, the government started to send out these stimulus checks, which, in my mind, and maybe I'm wrong, were given to people who were suffering through the pandemic because they couldn't work, they couldn't feed themselves, they needed money to exist. And that's why the money was given out. I mean, I recall the letter that came with the stimulus money. It seemed to me, Ms. Smith, so I'm going to ask you, because I read your answer, which I found interesting. And you said that while you were in prison and communicating with him, several of your stimulus checks came. Where did they come?
They were going to be sent to his house.
Why were they going to be sent to his house?
Because inmates were having their stimulus checks sent to the facility. The facility takes 75% of it.
Now, so I knew this would get more interesting, and I have to sort of put it in my timeline. So you had to apply for the stimulus checks.
Correct.
And all the inmates filled out a form for the stimulus checks. The other inmates filled out forms which said that they wanted the stimulus checks, gave them their social security number and an address.
Correct.
And you put his address on your stimulus check.
Actually, he filed it for me.
Whoever, he put his address. Was it at your direction that he filled it out for you? Or did he just do it himself? I mean, I'm up to a casual...
Yeah, he filed online for me.
Because you asked him to?
Yes.
And because he used his address, while the government was taking 75% of those stimulus checks and taking it for your upkeep in prison, because there's a certain amount of upkeep. You have meals, you have doctor services, whatever you have. They took 75, leaving you 25%, I suppose, to put on your account in the canteen or to do whatever you want. Is that close?
Yes.
How many checks did you see?
None.
Because according to you, they went to his house, and since he couldn't find you, because you had been transferred to one prison or another, what did you do with the checks and how many did you get?
I believe they got 2 checks, and then they just all expired. You know, I never deposited them or anything.
Do you have them?
No, ma'am.
Where are they?
One of them I sent back.
And where's the other one?
Just throw it away.
When did they send it, in 2020 or 2021?
I believe it was 21.
Your Honor, it was 2020.
Okay. But you never cashed any of them?
No, ma'am.
Good thing. Very good thing. No rhyme or reason to giving out stimulus money to people who are already being taken care of by the state, but the federal government, I know, was printing money like it was Mardi Gras, and sending money to prisoners is dubious thing. Sarah, you looked up some figures for me on, because I was curious about this case, how much money Kevin and I spent on sending money to prisoners, especially those who were in long term, like lifers or whatever. She wasn't, but she got stimulus checks, 2 of them sent to him.
So there were over 1.1 million COVID stimulus checks, totaling over 1.3 billion sent out to incarcerated people across the United States throughout COVID. And out of those numbers, according to the letter from the IRS, some 163,000 recipients were serving life sentences who received the stimulus checks. But that's throughout the U.S., not just in Washington
not just the state
or
of
Texas.
Washington. I got it. Okay.
Caption coming up.
I don't know one guy that cold turkey goes on a prison website to get a pen pal. But the people that do that are sort of the same people that have themselves shot out of a cannon. A little bit crazy. A little bit.
Elena grins. A courthouse. The Judy Justice logo appears. In the courtroom, Stewart and Elena.
Stuart Selmond claims his former friend, Elena Smith, owes for a car loan he gave her after she was released from prison.
Then, Miss Smith, there comes a time when you get out of jail.
Correct.
During the time that you were in jail, once you reconnected with him, did he send you any money?
That's when he started. He never had before. I never asked, but when
you reconnected?
Yes, because I had lost my job being
Oh,
gone
so you
for
got
court.
out?
No, I had a job in the prison.
Okay.
But I was gone for 6 months for court, so when I got back, I lost that job. So that was the first time I asked him for help. But again, my stimulus checks were supposed to be at his house, so
But they were
I didn't know
his-
that yet.
Okay.
So
Well, you asked him to fill out the form. Why did you agree to fill out the form with your address on the stimulus checks?
She said she had no one else to send them to.
Okay. Mr. Salomon, do you work?
Yes, ma'am.
Who do you work for?
I work at the hospital in Tyler.
What do you do?
I'm a nurse.
Now, Mr. Salmon, why wouldn't you ask Ms. Smith, hey, why do you want them at my house? I can't cash them. Why not just send them to the prison? Did she tell you?
No, ma'am.
Did you ask her?
No, ma'am.
All right, so he's not asking for any of that money back. He's asking for the $2,600 for the car that you wanted when you came out of prison. When you came out of prison, you lived independently.
I was in transitional housing.
And tell me how it came about that you asked him for money for a car.
He came and picked me up from prison, bought me a phone.
Okay, he picked you up. That was nice.
Yeah.
Anybody else pick you up?
No.
Who was that?
This is my best friend of 18 years.
Okay, did she pick you up?
No.
So he picked you up?
Yeah.
Okay, and what else did he do? He bought you a phone.
He bought me a phone.
He's not asking for that back. He bought you a phone as a gift, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Correct.
Yes, he bought you a phone so that you would be connected to the world.
Correct.
What's next?
Then he started cash apping me money
He
that
did.
I didn't ask for.
How much?
I have it all right here. The first one was June 13th for $50, June 14th for $50. This is prior to the car money.
So you said you needed some cash and
I never said I needed it. He just was doing it.
okay, and he's not asking for any of that money back.
Right.
Now tell me about the car.
So I got a job offer, but I didn't have a vehicle. So he had been helping me out for a while.
Okay, so he's helping you.
So I asked him for money to get a car. This first stimulus check that he sent back, I wasn't getting, but the third one, I had to file a tax return in order to get that, which was only $1,400.
Oh, just a second. I don't care about your stimulus money. I don't want to buy you a car.
Pay him back.
I don't want to buy you a car.
But he bought me a car.
No,
with
no, no.
My stimulus money I was supposed
No.
to give him for only $1,400.
No. You have to understand something. You have no proof, and I actually believe him when I say he didn't cash your stimulus checks.
Yeah,
He returned them. You don't even think that he cashed them because
No.
that would have been a federal offense and he would have gone
Yeah,
to jail.
I didn't.
And you didn't want to go to jail, right?
No, ma'am.
And truth of the matter is, stimulus money is, in my view, not for anything other than try to keeping everything in balance while there was COVID.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you got out of jail. owning a car is sort of a luxury. You have to have a car, you have to have insurance, you have to be able to keep it up. That's not what stimulus money was for. So let's go back. He didn't collect any of your money. He was nice enough to put in $50 here, $60 there, gave you a phone so you would be connected. Now you tell him that you need money for a car. On what date do you tell him you need money for a car?
On June 15th.
And he gave you $2,600.
Correct.
And that was in June of 2022.
Correct.
Now, I'd like to see the emails following up when he's asking you for repayment of that $2,600. Do you have any?
Yes, ma'am.
I'd like to take a look at it.
Stewart produces documents, then hands them to Kevin. He brings them to Judy, who reviews them.
Where is the car now?
It was totaled. It was a recent car accident.
When?
December 2nd.
Who was driving it?
I was driving it.
Did you have insurance on it?
Yes.
Did you hit another car and the other car hit you?
The other car pulled out in front of me and I hit them. They were at fault.
The insurance payout on the claim? To whom?
To myself.
How much?
Just for the damage of the car, it was $3,200.
So what did you do with the money?
I bought a new vehicle.
What kind did you get?
2008 Pontiac G6.
How much did you pay for it?
I paid $2,700.
So if you gave him back his $2,600, you still would have had a down payment enough for that car.
I paid cash on this vehicle.
I know what you did, but if you had done the right thing, you would have paid him back his $2,600, and you would have had a down payment, and you would have been paying off the car.
So there was no agreement for me to pay the $2,600. It was to pay him back with my stimulus of only $1,400.
Well, I've read this here, and you know what I get out of these text messages back and forth? Something that people who are takers do all the time. They justify taking because you say, you're just so blank petty. You make more than enough, and I'm making $500 a week. I have real life problems. So you're saying that the money isn't really that important to you, and it's that important to me, and I have a child to take care of, and you don't. You make $500. You live alone, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, you live alone. You were a good sucker for a while, and now I'm not giving you back the money. I'm cutting you off. Did you change? Yes.
He continued to cash app her after the $2,600.
Up here.
Elena's friend, Sharona.
After June 15th, when he sent her the $2,600, he sends her, unsolicited, another $700 dating all the way to August 11th.
Well, that's terrific. Isn't he a nice person? She's been your best friend for 17 years.
18, yes, ma'am.
18 years. Do you work?
I do.
What kind of work do you do?
I work in healthcare.
You make a living?
I do.
You have a car?
I do.
You have a home?
I do.
Right. Why didn't you give her money?
I was in the middle of a divorce, and we were selling our home.
So the answer is you had other things. You work, that's 2 sources of income of her best friend for 18 years. And she could have come to you. And
She did, and I gave her money.
Okay, well, she seems to be, you can sit down. She seems to be a taker. And if he gave her more money, even after this $2,600, he's not asking for that money back.
He also told me to keep the stimulus check to pay the car.
Oh, I'd like to
Yes.
see it. Not that it's important.
No, it is. He
Because
told me to keep it.
Just a second, because I'm not. You didn't get another stimulus check.
No, I didn't get the stimulus.
No, you didn't get
That
another
was the only stipulation to paying him back was with that.
No. No.
Yes.
Caption, coming up.
He was tracking my iPhone. He was constantly blowing up my phone. He became a weirdo. He sent me an email.
Madam, I have to tell you something. It takes a weirdo to know a weirdo.
A courthouse. The Judy Justice logo appears. In the courtroom, Stewart and Elena.
Stuart Zelmond has accused his former friend, Elena Smith, of refusing to pay back a car loan. Elena claims the car was a gift after she was released from prison.
He was being a really nice guy. I sent you money so you and your daughter can do some stuff, like you can get some of your precious Papa John's. Seems like a nice guy.
She never asked for any of it. She even had him blocked during that.
She spent it.
Yeah.
Just a second. She spent it. Do you know, there are times when I remember both myself and other family members erroneously received money. I don't know if it ever happened to you. Okay. Erroneously, a deposit comes into your checking account. You don't know where it comes from. Well, somebody put it in there mistakenly, right?
This wasn't mistaken.
Just a second. Same theory, madam. Somebody put it in there mistakenly. Well, you can either report it to the bank and say, I don't want any more of this money. It feels uncomfortable to me. Or you can say, listen, I'm going to hold this in my account and see if they come after it, see how long it takes them to find it, right? Or you can do the honest thing. You pick up the phone and you call and say, this money doesn't belong to me and I'm not going to spend it. Similarly, even though the money was unsolicited, your friend was a user. Your friend was a user. She started out by saying, people use these online websites for prisoners because they want stuff. Is that what she said in the beginning?
I also said I took myself off of it. I didn't put myself on it.
Just a second. Whether you did or did not, I don't know, but you certainly benefited from it.
How?
You took his money.
Was
somebody that you met, you took, according to now you said $50 twice is what he sent. Now your friend says, oh, no.
This is after.
Oh, no. I know exactly what you said, madam. I know exactly what you said. You said, no, that was after the $2,600. But for somebody who says, I wouldn't want to be in that site because other people were using that site to get people to give them things, and I took myself off that site, well, there's no further reason for you to stay on the site. You had your sucker.
No.
No. This
Hold
is
on.
after she came out of jail.
It took 3 years. 3 years for me to ask him for anything. So if I was going to use him, it would have been the entire time. I stopped having communication with him because he was tracking my iPhone. He was constantly blowing up my phone. He wanted to have me do inappropriate sexual things to him. He became a weirdo. He sent me an email.
Madam, I have to tell you something. It takes one to know one. It takes a weirdo to know a weirdo.
No.
If you're in prison,
no.
To me,
No.
maybe not to
with
you.
The things that he asked.
Sit. If you're in prison, a woman in prison, you said the women in prison go on this line so that people, weirdos. I mean, I have a very large family, really large extended family. I don't know one guy that cold turkey goes on a prison website to get a pen pal. I don't know. I'm sure that there are people that do that, but the people that do that are sort of the same people in my mind, and I know it's an old mind, are the same sort of people that have themselves shot out of a cannon or will jump off a 9th-story building with a parachute and see if it works. A little bit crazy. A little bit. You know, even when you marry somebody who's doing a life term in prison, I think it's sort of an interesting story. I wouldn't recommend it for my granddaughter. So the fact that you did a substantial stint in prison, leaving a small daughter who was taken care of by whom?
Her father.
By her father. Still taken care of by her father?
Yeah.
So you have a place in your life that's sad that she's not with you, but it gives you the ability to create a life for yourself because you're free. So you can create a life for yourself. This man says, I was a very nice man. I made you more comfortable while you were in jail, a little more comfortable, and when you got out of jail, I also sent you money. Now, if you're telling me, and your friend is suggesting that he wanted some sort of a quirky quid pro quo, that's a reason to cut him off. It's not a reason not to pay him back. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $2,600. We're finished.
This court is adjourned.
Stewart.
But we were just friends. You know, she just said a lot of things that weren't true. Like, I never asked anything from her, and I mean...
I thought he was lonely. He goes on vacations by himself. He has no friends.
I didn't keep cashing her after I was blocked and stuff, so...
Thought he wanted a friend, and he was trying to buy my friendship, obviously.
No reason. She's just making stuff up now. Character assassination.
Right after my release from prison.
Be careful you loan money to.
Don't get a pen pal.
No more prison pen pals.
So this is something they don't teach in law school.
I'm ready.
If something doesn't make sense to an otherwise sensible person, you have to know there's a gimmick attached to it. You know, if something walks like a duck and quacks like a duck, it's a duck.
Yep.
Now it may be a mongoose, but if you'd be pretty safe in saying, you know, walks like a duck, talks like a duck. So it's not a duck, it's a mongoose. But if you come from a relatively simple background and you know a lot of people, and you don't know anybody who's pen pals with a prisoner. There are a lot of people, because there are lonely people. People in prison are lonely, and there are sometimes lonely women who start to communicate, even just from a sympathetic Good Samaritan kind of coming from that direction. People should know that if a stranger is giving you money, under those circumstances, there's got to be a catch there someplace.
I mean, I know my brain stems from your brain, so maybe we're just on the same track here, but I would never accept money from someone who's seemingly just giving it to me because. There's always a string, there's always an attachment, even from people that you know. But definitely with strangers, there's strings. Otherwise, why are they giving you the money in the first place?
Right.
I think she knew what she was doing, and even if she didn't sign herself up, even if we take her at her word on that, she knew what the people on that site were about.
Oh, well, she was very clear.
Yep.
She knew that people in prison were going to be entitled to get stimulus checks, but they were to be directed to the prison because the prison would take out 75% of those checks, which would cover your care. The government's still taking care of you, but they're not taking care of you twice.
Yeah, so basically the government is paying twice for you.
And so in order not to do that, she concocted this scheme.
Found someone who would be okay with the other end.
Sending it to them. And I'm sure that didn't come to her genius head alone. Somebody in prison said, this is what you do in order not to keep the 75%. If somebody else do it, your girlfriend, your sister, your mother, whoever it is.
If there's a system, people will find a way around it to benefit themselves more.
Title, Judy Justice.
Want justice? Go to judyjustice.drugs. Is suing his ex-wife, Lori Watsager, for the cost of tools she wrongfully sold.
Court come to order. All rise.
Have a seat, please.
Kevin approaches Judge Judy.
Hello, Judge. Case 2189, Strubs versus Watsager.
Thank you.
Judy turns to Andrew.
Mr. Scruggs, you have brothers and sisters?
No, ma'am.
Were your father and your mother? Who predeceased whom?
My mother died when I was 17 years old, and my father died in 2019 after a long-time illness, and he had his tools at my property.
You and the defendant were married for 10 years.
Correct.
You separated in what year?
2016.
And when you left, she stayed in the house.
That's correct, Your Honor.
Sometime prior to 2016, according to you, you borrowed some tools of your father's.
That's correct. I actually
Is that correct?
That is correct.
And the tools that you borrowed from your father were left in the marital home 2016, 17, 18. Your father died in 2019. You were divorced in 2000.
We were divorced in 2019 was the final judgment.
And then things sort of got away from you. So now we're in 2023, and you want your father's tools back or money for them, according to you, $10,000 worth.
Yes, ma'am.
Ridiculous. Let's start out with ridiculous. Where were you in 2019?
2019 is when my father died, and shortly after he died, I was taking care of his affairs, and we still had an ongoing court case that consisted of our minor children at the time, and I was under advisement of my attorney.
Don't tell me what your attorney advised you. It's hearsay. You did nothing with regard to the tools. In what year did you borrow the tools from your father?
It was 2013. I brought the tools over to my storage shed, and...
Mr. Scruggs, you gotta let it go. You haven't had the tools in 7 years. You've been out of the house since 2016? 2016.
What, Your Honor?
And you've been, look at you, and you've been living. Who is this?
This is my current wife.
So, you got divorced, you remarried. When did you remarry?
I got remarried in 2018.
Well, so you found time to get married, right? Just a second. That's a yes or a no.
Yes,
you found time to get married.
Yes, ma'am.
Did you have a big wedding?
No, ma'am.
You had a small wedding. Do you have any children?
Yes, ma'am.
With your current wife?
Yes, ma'am.
How many?
One child.
How old?
She's 5.
So you managed to have a baby. Well, I'm suggesting to you, sir, how many different jobs did you have since 2016?
I've had 2 different employers.
Since 2016, so you also looked for another job and found another job. So let's see. You got married, you had a child, you changed jobs, but all of a sudden in 2023, the tools are important. Now, how many children did you and the defendant have?
2 children.
How old are they?
I have a 14-year-old and an 8-year-old.
You pay child support?
No, ma'am.
How come?
because one of the children lives with me full-time.
For how long?
She's lived with me full-time for approximately 3 years.
But when you and the defendant separated, she was living with her mother.
Only for a short amount of time.
How long?
Probably about a year.
Yes,
and I paid support during that time.
And the other child?
Is 45-55 split.
So that's why you don't pay child support?
Correct.
And do you work?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, good. And at some point, so what do you want to say and why?
Just that the reason we were not able to do anything about the tools was that she had an order of protection.
The tools are stupid.
Was that she had an order of protection against him.
The tools are stupid. Orders of protection don't disqualify you from coming to small claims court.
They said that it wasn't able to.
Oh, no, that's, what's a they? Oz? You were allowed to come for small claims court, file a petition and say, these tools belong to me. He didn't do it during the divorce. He didn't do it before your wedding. He didn't do it after your wedding. He didn't do it before your daughter was born. He didn't do it till after your daughter was born. She's now 5 years old. It's 10 years after the tools were moved from your father's house into the marital home. That would be a fair statement. 10 years. You said 2013. We're now in 2023.
Correct. And,
Okay.
Your Honor, I do have here where my dad filed a police report where he was trying to recover the tools.
Well, unfortunately...
And the defendant here obviously lied to this officer here and told them that
So
I
what?
didn't retrieve...
So what? I want you to forget $10,000, sir. It's not happening for you. Put a period. The only thing that I'm going to consider is she did, in fact, sell the tools. That she acknowledges. Now, she can't sell something that doesn't belong to her. And in what year did you sell the tools?
I sold the tools. Our divorce was signed in 2018. They had gotten married. He'd quit paying a mortgage, so I had to find a way to pay.
Just a second.
Yes, ma'am.
Can't you just tell me, in what year did you sell the tools?
It was on and off between August and October of 2018.
So you sold them piecemeal?
Yes, ma'am.
And you remember that, so you must have put an ad someplace.
I put an ad on Craigslist because I needed to pay the mortgage, and I didn't only sell his tools, I sold jewelry that was mine.
I get it, but you sold it.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Do you have an inventory about, first of all, they weren't his tools, they were his father's tools. But I've asked him whether or not he was an only child. He is an only child, so he would stand to inherit these tools unless there was another child that he doesn't know about because his mother predeceased his father. So,
Your Honor, I do have an inventory from that my
I
father
don't
did.
care. Understand this. I don't care.
Caption coming up.
How do you know it was $1,000 if you sold them over a 3 or 4 month period? And if the answer to that is I don't know, or I pulled out the number from my behind, then that's an answer. But not that I sold the tools to put food on the table for my children. That's not an answer.
And later today.
I do have a witness that I brought with me, my daughter, who actually did see.
You sure you want to do that? Are you sure you want to do that? Be very careful, Miss Vieira. Are you sure you want to put her there for me to question? Are you sure?
A courthouse. The Judy Justice logo appears. In the courtroom, Andrew and Lori.
Andrew Scruggs claims his ex-wife, Lori Watzinger, wrongfully sold his father's tools and kept the money.
You let it lapse too long. Your father died 4 years ago. You and the defendant are separated for 6 years. The tools were there for 10 years. Courts don't care. We use a whole bunch of things, statute of limitations, we use latches, we use all kinds of terms when people don't act quickly to assert their rights to something. Because we don't want to be bothered with what happened 10 years ago and 12 years ago with this kind of nonsense. We do it with certain things that are important. Crimes are important. So sometimes we let statute of limitations get blurry, but not this. But you sold the tools. You had no right to sell the tools, so he's entitled to the money that you got for selling the tools. Now, according to you, you sold all the tools for how much?
$1,000.
And how do you know it was $1,000? Because you say you sold it over a period of time.
Because I have the paperwork where I had submitted so many payments to the mortgage because I sold them just to pay the mortgage. and to feed the kids.
Listen, I'm going to get out my violin, madam. I asked you a specific question.
Yes, ma'am.
My specific question is, how do you know it was $1,000 if you sold them over a 3 or 4 month period? And if the answer to that is I don't know, or I pulled out the number from my behind, then that's an answer. But not that I sold the tools to put food on the table for my children. That's not an answer. How do you know it was $1,000?
Because I had put that money into the bank. I paid the mortgage with it.
Your Honor, you're exactly right. The defendant here is a liar and a manipulator.
Just a second.
And she will tell you whatever she thinks that you want to hear.
Well, that's true, sir. And I don't believe she sold the tools for $1,000, but I don't know that.
Because
and you wait, just a second.
Just
a second.
I
What?
guarantee you.
Oh,
I guarantee she made $13,000, $14,000.
No, that's possible, sir. Prove it. Proof. Just a second. It's your burden of proof. You have to prove to me that she sold them for $13,000. And even then, you're late in bringing this suit. But you can't prove that.
Well, because she is a manipulator is why this ex parte order and
listen
all this,
to me. I don't care. You're not following me. Courts, not me personally, courts, I am the court. We don't care because what you did was wait too long to assert a claim. You waited too long. According to you, you had COVID and the pandemic came in between and, you know, having another child and getting married to somebody else. All those were reasons you had personal issues why you didn't assert your rights in a timely fashion. So we're not going back to try to recreate something that you can't recreate. And neither can she, actually, because you don't have to keep track of something that happened 3-4 years ago.
Well, even the agreed,
you have to understand.
Well, even our agreed judgment that she signed, I've texted her not 3 months ago trying to retrieve items.
Just a second. You have a judgment of divorce that says in the judgment of divorce she is to return the tools to you.
No.
Okay.
The tools are nothing in that judgment.
Nothing. Okay. You sold them for $1,000?
Yes, ma'am.
You can't sell somebody else's property. And that's all that he can prove is what you say you sold them for. And I'm not sure that that's what you sold them for, but he waited too long. And the only thing that I can establish at this point is that you sold somebody else's tools for $1,000. That's it. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $1,000. We're finished.
This court is adjourned.
The defendant, she obviously is a liar and manipulator, and she got a lot more than even the $10,000, and these were what I considered family heirlooms.
No, actually, no. I've got the documents for that.
Even after my father died, I looked at her and said, you know, we need to just fix this, and I came to her and said, you know,
because he can't let me go.
If it's a matter of money, let me give you the money for the tools, and she still was selling the tools to, we think, her best friend.
Because they don't want me happy.
I'm sure glad that it's over, and hopefully we can coexist and take care of our son that we have together.
I'd like to be friends. I mean, it's for the children, anything to make the children happy.
Judy and Sarah.
You know what's more fascinating to me than anything else, and I have to when we leave today, I'm going to go back and look up the doctrine of latches.
It was a brief footnote, I think, in one of our case books.
Right, because we're talking 60 years ago when I went to law school. And I seem to remember you had both a statute of limitations, which was a formalized statute for certain causes of action, and you had to bring them within a certain period of time. That, I'm sure they taught you in law school. But I seem to remember, Sarah, there was a doctrine of latches which discusses why you're supposed to bring an action in a timely fashion.
More of a common sense argument as opposed to a
preservation of evidence, because people do away with it. And this is a perfect example.
I think they call it ripeness now, but same concept.
Maybe.
More of a way for judges like yourself to be able to use common sense in cases like this and say, there's no evidence that's going to be preserved 10 years later. You had all these opportunities. Common sense tells me, therefore, it's not ripe. And I think it's a good doctrine because although there might not be a set statute for this particular cause of action, it doesn't mean that evidence just appears out of nowhere that you're going to be able to use.
That you don't preserve.
Exactly.
That you don't preserve it. And certainly, he made a whole lifetime for himself in 10 years. Divorced, remarried, had a child, had changed jobs, changed careers.
A lot can happen in 10 years.
Yeah, but what's not going to happen is you getting the tools back.
Yeah.
Case 2189, Hernandez versus Vieira. All parties, please step forward.
Sofia Hernandez is suing her dog sitter, Cherie Vieira, for vet bills after her dog was injured during Cherie's care.
Ms. Hernandez, how old is your puppy?
She's 6 months, Your Honor.
And when she was 4 months old, you needed a home sitter for your dog, or
Yes.
you needed a place to board her for a weekend, long
Yes.
weekend. You live on an Army base.
A naval base.
Naval base. Does the defendant live on the base as well?
Yes, Your Honor.
And she approached you or whatever and said that she was available for sitting. Is that what you do to make some extra money?
Yes, Your Honor.
And on the 22nd of December of last year, which is when this incident occurred, you dropped the dog off at the defendant's home.
December 16.
It was the 16th?
Yes.
And when you dropped the puppy off at the defendant's home, she was in perfectly fine shape.
Yes.
She looked very sweet.
Thank you.
So what happened when she dropped the puppy off at your house?
Caption coming up.
I want you to tell me something that I'm going to believe, that you and your mother were in the room with your 10-year-old sister and you saw what happened with the dog.
Yes.
Just a second. I want you to make sure that that's what you're telling me.
A courthouse. The Judy Justice logo appears. In the courtroom, Sophia and Cherie.
Sophia Hernandez claims her dog sitter, Cherie Vieira, is responsible for vet bills after her dog Dolce was injured during Cherie's care.
Because Ms. Hernandez has an outstanding vet bill for surgery on the dog's leg, which was broken, while in your care.
Yes, Your Honor.
So why don't you tell me how that happened?
Ms. Hernandez brought Dolce to our house. We took her in, and we had also another
Not
dog.
me. I want you to tell me,
Yes.
you. When you say you took her in, did you or somebody else?
It's a family effort. My children also help take care of the dogs. I started watching dogs because my youngest child was deathly afraid of dogs. She was bit by a dog at the age of 2. So we started this so she could learn how to take care of dogs properly, know their signs and things like that. And we took Dolce into my daughter's room.
Which daughter?
Into my youngest daughter's room.
Is that you?
I'm the oldest.
You're the oldest. And how old is your youngest daughter?
She's 10.
Okay, so once you took her into your daughter's room, she was alone with the puppy.
No, all 3 of us were in the room. What we like to do is we
No, I don't want you to tell me what you like to do.
Okay.
I want you to be consistent with what you put in your answer. You were all in your daughter's room?
Yes.
Is that what you're telling me?
Yes, ma'am.
Just 1 second.
Judy puts on her glasses, then consults a document.
Okay. So your husband was with another dog in the yard.
Yes.
So I brought this dog into my daughter's room, your 10-year-old daughter's room, to settle down.
Yes, Your Honor.
And then you don't know what happened because you weren't watching.
I was actually...
No, you were not watching. That's what it says here.
Well, I was taking pictures.
It doesn't make any difference. You weren't watching. You don't know what happened. If you were taking pictures that would be on your camera.
I have pictures here of Dolce that I was actually sending to
No,
Ms.
I don't
Hernandez.
care. It would be on your camera if you were taking pictures. And if you were taking pictures, then you would have exactly what happened with the dog that caused the dog to have a broken leg. But you don't have those pictures. Am I correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
So that you were not watching and you did not see what happened at the moment the dog was injured?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
But I do have a witness that I brought with me, my daughter, who actually did see as I was sending pictures to Ms. Hernandez.
You sure you want to do that? Are you sure you want to do that? Be very careful, Miss Vieira. Are you sure you want to put her there for me to question? Are you sure? Are you sure?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, Your
I don't
Honor.
I don't think so. But it's your choice. Let's go. I want you to tell me something that I'm going to believe, that you and your mother were in the room with your 10-year-old sister and you saw what happened with the dog.
Yes.
Just a second. I want you to make sure that that's what you're telling me. So you were in the room?
Yes, I was.
Okay. Well, your first name is?
Abigail.
I'd like to see a picture of Abigail in the room with the dog when you were sending pictures, allegedly, to the plaintiff of the dog. I just want to see pictures of her in the room.
Your Honor, I did not make pictures of those.
Why not? She was there. You were taking pictures of the dog. I assume your 10-year-old's room is not the size of this courtroom. So if you were taking pictures, Abigail would be in those pictures.
Your Honor, I actually have a picture of her leg after I was bit by Dolce.
I don't care after you were bit by Dolce. You were bit by the puppy
Yes.
Because she was injured.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, that was after she was injured.
Yes.
I want to see a picture of your daughter that you were taking pictures of, allegedly to send to the plaintiff to show her how the dog was adjusting.
I do not have pictures of that,
Right.
Your Honor.
Yeah. Miss Vieira, do you want to know the truth? I don't believe you were in the room with your daughter, either one of them, and the puppy. I think that you left the puppy with your 10-year-old, and you don't know what happened. That's what I believe. And whether I believe, and it's accurate or not accurate, the dog was injured in your care. So you're responsible for the surgical bill. It's that simple. Dog got a broken leg in your care with enough adults there to watch the dog, your husband, the older daughter, and you put her in the room with your 10-year-old because you thought it would be cute. Your 10-year-old wanted to play with her. That's what happened. Can I see the vet bill, please?
Yes, Your Honor. I have the urgent care bill and the surgery bill as well.
Sophia hands a document to Kevin, who brings it to Judy for review.
So the invoice was $58.18?
For the surgery.
And $862. $66.08, judgment for the plaintiff. We're done.
This court is adjourned.
You know, I'm happy because those vet bills are really high. You know, it's not something that you could take on at the time.
I was in the room with the dog. The dog jumped from the floor, and it was a freak accident. But
my dog was healthy, you know. She had just been at the vet.
ये पागल है ये खेल खेल के गेम तो नहीं खेल रही बे वॉच टाइम खींच रही जग जुड़ी थे जग जुड़ी समझे का हो मैं तुम बताओ तो कल ही तो बताओ तो तुम्हें दिखाओ तो तुम भैया हैं हमें कहाँ बताओ यार इंग्लिश कंटेंट है वो फिर जग जुड़ी समझ ही नहीं आता है
नाम ही नहीं पहचान में आप
बता हमारे का तो यूएसए क्लाइंट आता है यूएसए की बात तुम जग जुड़ी यूएसए क्लाइंट के लिए फोन कर दियो जैसे अपने सीआईडी है वो अदालत है तो ऐसी वहाँ को जग जुड़ी फेमस है क्या कह रहे तो 32 नंबर टेंट बनते 34 हेड पे जिम जॉइन कर लिया सी बैठने से कर लगी क्या बात है खोले हम गर्मी में तो उन्हें नेक मोटे होने लगो सो घर वाले कलीस कर दे फिर हो जाए पता नहीं पुलिस का टेंशन ले ली तुम अरे यार फोन का हाँ टेंशन लग जाती हूँ तो मैं हम फदूरी लगा भैया फोन आओ तो नींद में क्या कह रहे हमने तमाकू थूक ले तब फोन कर फोन के बारे में दिया नहीं वो हमने दूसरी ऑर्डर कर दिया अरे बहुत खड़े कि तुम लोग रिकॉर्डिंग कर रहे थे तो बात जो यार का मतलब नहीं करते वो उतना कहीं धद्दे मुँह करके मेरे जूता करवाई दी दादी भैया ने सबको जेब ले दे तुम दे सकता गुस्सा नहीं तुम नहीं देख लो भोसड़ी हम 20,000 रुपये एडवांस दे रहे थे भोसड़ी 20,000 रुपये फोन बाइक ला के ले आए थे सारे जन भोसड़ी इस काम धंधो कर रहे हैं ये जो फोन कर दिए जुटा दी पैसा का जाए भोसड़ी तो तय करवाओ सनी तो फारिया मारो भोसड़ी सनी लोड़ा बच्चा लिबान गए बाकी हम कह लोना बच्चे लिबान गए गाड़ी तुम तो आ रहे थे साहब उठाने गए जब की बात संजय की बात बताई दी हमने जो कोई एक्स्ट्रा रास्ता दे कुछ ले लिया अब आप बात खोलेंगे कहीं तो करेंगे हम तो खोल के घर ये देख कहीं तो फायदा है लेकिन यार सभी रंग छोड़ के नहीं उठवाए ना तब पहले डील हो चुकी अरे हम 8 बजे नहीं थे विजयगन तो भाई हम पुलिस कर रहे तब तो
मैंने बात नहीं करी
थी वही ग्रांट होए होता तो पहले
हमने कितनी 20 की बना ले 30 की पीछे लगा दिए 50 मिनट की
रात में जवाब दिमाग लगाओ गाने रात में
जब कुछ 25 सौ भी हो जाए
रुपया नहीं
छोड़ हम भी डरेंगे वे कितने हम भी
काफी सवेरे केस सॉल्व हो गए हैं ये हम सोच रहे हैं कि कोई बड़ी होता धक दो जरूरी धोने के बाद मोटे ही ताजे आदमी है तो ये अब धरे हो अब मतलब अब तो दूसरों देखिएगा अब तो लगा है
क्या कर रहे हो
मैंने एक्टिविटी गलत कर दी साले दोनों सस्पेंड हो गए
वो तो मौका दो जरूरी है। हमने पंखा घुमत घुमत की मोनेटाइज कर ली थी। बात पर मेरे घर में है, मेरी खेती थी मेट्रो हमें तो इन्वॉल्व होता हूँ भैया। भाई बहुत टेंशन रात में की चीन चीजें की नहीं भाई तो है वो नहीं चाहिए बहुत ओवर हो जाता देखो सबको अपना सिस्टम अलग है। अब जो वीडियो बना रहा हूँ मोहल्ला वाले ने देखे वो बड़े बवाल है मुझे मानता नहीं है जी। अरे बंद कर वो यार बोला मम्मी नहीं कभी हम बताए रहे तुम ना कह रंजी पाजी
मैं दादा ना था सबला तो
मम्मी आई ले बस वापसी हो जाए मॉर्निंग डाल रहा फिर प्राइवेट कर दी
आई दो
हो रंजी भाई सेवा बड़ी चीज तो बहुत बड़ी है जिन्हें कही तुम लोगों को ध्यान तुम लोग उठ के चलिए तो दक्षिण बैठ गए ना करिए अब बैठ रुक गए नहीं कर तो जाने के हमें ठंडा मंगाया था तो जाने के नाश्ता मत मंगा दूसरों आगे मंगाया तो नहीं तो जाने के आज जयपाल मंगाएंगे ठंडा भैया कई गाने बन सामने करते मुंह पहुंचता हो मुक्के को जय बोला 36 को बड़ा मजा तो आई है हमें नहीं लाइक मारता वो आई झगड़ा के मारे भाई बोला तो घर में घूमी तो अबू देख पक्की बना दे भाई मेरे हम कांटेक्ट है हम क्या ना करेंगे वो हमने कल गंजा मान करते कि ये धर गए तो मैंने भी कोई दूधिया देख ली वाल दिया वैसे दिया दरगंदा दरगंदा मुक्के भी दिया देख लेना मनी करते मार मुक्के करेंगे थी मुक्के गांव में छोटा रंजी को सवेरे तो दे रहा है और कोई कितने जो तेरे बगवाल लेते मुझे सही करो बात कर लियो दो मार रखते हो मुश्किल नहीं है यार नहीं ये सब बताए
कितनी होगी 10 20 की कर ले पूरी
धीरे दबा से लड़ा के आ गई जो पैसा फंसे जी चलो मैं तो आदमी हम तो पूरा लगते तुम्हारा वालों का हो जाओ जूते नहीं करे जूते आगे तुम्हारा जूते मैं ही करे भाई ला वही है दूसरे में फटे में टांग रहे तो चलिए थोड़ी तो वैसे जगह जगह पढ़ भी लिख भी तुम्हारे का खेती में तू इन्वॉल्व कर रहा हूँ माइंड चक्का है अरे 30 मारखान तो मिलू ना गाड़ी वकील वकील तो बैठन लगो नेता नगरी में ज़्यादा झाड़न लगो हम जगह नेता नगरी जब कोई मारा तो नेता नगरी साइड लगे नहीं यार बीच में जान दिखाओगे या चीज मुझे कल गलत क्या दी बेजिंद्रा कर लो मैंने बेजिंदू तो फोन करूँ भोगड़ी अकेले अकेले धर रहे ना जगह तो हमने देख रहे थे ना धर रहे बेजिंद्रा के बाद भाई 8:30 मैंने कहते हाँ सवेरे बेजिंद्रा बताया बात भाई थी अच्छा बात भाई थी बच्चा है जू होशियार को ना से जू कूद के हो जाए 10 में वो खड़ी वन दीदी क्या दी मैंने इधर मार रहे बेस में फंस को ना जो 12 में बेस में फंसने वो बिजा करना छू दिया तो कहता है ये क्या जब कल संजय मर गई हमें देख तेरे मैं को धरो दिया तू मेरा शांत रहो 12 ग्रेड मिलते हैं अच्छा दबाए थे वो जो ही दत्तो हम दबाए एक फसल ना सही दूसरी जो ही दत्तो इतना पैसा तो मरना है ना मैं पूछे कि दूध दे रहा है भाई प्लेटन वाले हैं तो अब का पाएगा पति तो जमीन नहीं करेगा ना टोरी तो वो ये बोल रहे हैं सब सीबीसी भाई क्या पता नहीं कौन सी बीसी भाई जा रही है बताइए पता नहीं जा रही सब तुम पे हमारा तो पक्के मानना ही है तो हेल नहीं है तो देखियो ना समझ नहीं आ रही का एक लगी रही नॉट ही प्रेग्नेंट।
प्रेग्नेंट वाली नहीं है, कई बार मुझे भी आ गया।
अब नहीं
बूम कर रहा हूँ कुल डरी है।
अब डरी
ये 1000 वहीं बा 1000 है
नहीं है 300 में भी डरी।
350 खाओ ये
मगर रात में चलना है और बड़ी 6 बजे दे रहे यार।
बहुत चीज तो देखोगा ना बड़ी
आ जा लकी डर रही 10 मिनट की।
हम लोग पता चल ही यार दुकान वाले हम ना फोन करके सवेरे चिल्ला लोगों तो जाएगा। अब जगह है अपनी बीच बचाने की तो थोड़ी घर में कर दी थी।
हमने भाई बलके कह रही तुम्हारे सामने गई थी, मैंने 10 रहे 11
मतलब लगी है
अबे नहीं कर लो
दवाई खाई नहीं है दवाई खाई है
जाता कब पता कर दिया जब मुझे फोन डाल रही है ना पैसा करवाई तेरी तो गलत बात अगर 3 मोबाइल उठा कर ले
मोबाइल तीनों बेचे हैं 5G इंदौर
तू का और नहीं कहना
ये कम क्वालिटी में वीडियो क्रिएट कर रहे हैं। फिर जग जुड़ी आगे लगा दे पीछे पे जग जुड़ी व्यू जाएगा सो जग जुड़ी हटा दे तो अपनी अपनी रोक दे फिर अप्लाई कर दे। यार ऑनलाइन खेल बहुत यूज नहीं करता बहुत दिमाग है बहुत कहूँ बड़ी ऐसी बात कह रही है मुझे कंफ्यूज करती थी।
दिमाग का छोटा कम दिमाग है
जैसे सोच गया दिमाग में सिस्टम। अब जो क्या कह रहे रसगुल्ला ले अब का जब तो आमला है नीम है सब कुछ है जब का मतलब है कि काम हो ले
डुबो नहीं है तो आसन बैठ जाता है
कौन है डुबो आप बैठते हैं आप बैठ कंड करते हैं जगह रहो तो
हम जगे थे हम ते सोए गए 12 बजे फिर 2 बजे जग गए 2:10 पे हम छत पे घूम रहे हम 2 जने छत पे तुम तो 11 बजे बैठे ही जाता ही थे 11 बजे छत पे बैठे ही थे पूछे ही तक बाद सोए गए फिर हम जग गए फिर हम घूम रहे बाहर ऐसा सिस्टम है। सारी और गरम रात बहुत रहा है जात
ये कौन था ये भी छत पे
हम अपनी छत पे बैठा था अपनी थे
तो पुलंगियां काटो
तो वही तो
पन्नी बांधो में
तब वही तो हमने कल संध्या कही थी बजागन तक तो ड्राइवर नीचे पर तुम नीचे जा मैंने नहीं घोसड़ी गई ही नहीं
एक ने लग गई बहुत बुरी लगी
इनको राग बिगड़ेगा सही बात है उनको राग अब सही बात बताएं कैबो नहीं चाहिए लीगा खंड कोटक लें तो ये अच्छी है
तो जाए ने सर दर्द की टेंशन फ्री नींद आई है और कुछ नहीं तो ऐसा कर हैं
गाड़ी की कहानी खत्म है अगर जी ऐसी रहेगी खत्म है हाँ बताया नहीं तो घर में ताला लगे हाँ यही कहने नहीं हमें पता है घर में ताला दुकान किराए बात कर ली फिर किराए हमने कही मिल दे हम ले लें किराए ना वैसे मिल जाएगा
रुको जाइए
सब गए पता है सब गए अब जाएगा विजय करना जरूर करेगा जो जाने करिए गाड़ी की ऊपर गिलान पे ये ना भैया वो फिर नहीं फिर बड़ी मत नहीं चलता
ये तो तुम अगर तो पैसा ही हुआ
पैसा तो सही बात होता है रुपया तो मानो घोड़े ने जाने के दम में पतंग सी उड़ाई जाको रुपया पे जन ठेका ले दीजिए मकान बनवाएंगे जाम रुपये जब मारो जब तक तुम्हें जानकारी है नहीं तो तुम काम करवा रहे हो मकान मालिक पैसे दे दिए भाई गजन पहले चलाई ना वो 1 साल पहले ऐसे जा रही
मैं नहीं पता
टक्सो
इसका नाम दिया
फोटो भाई
मैं आपसे बड़ा जाके चच्चू के लेना
ले मारे ये दुकान घर चलाई खबर ये में ले लवाए ये सारो चोदी बनाई
सारो ही तो जा रहा है करेगा भी वो जीजा बिल पे सारा जीजा पे लगवाएगा भाई ना तो गन बन गया ना तो ना मैं जाके इधर
भैया तो दूर है उठ पे चला जिसको वही चद्रा वो
हम अपना बैग पैक करें अब
तू कहाँ जाइए
हमें तंग है यार सही बता रहे यार मुझे लगा घर अच्छा नहीं लग रहा यार वो घर घूमे हैं और 30 तारीख के बाद कछु करें आए गए
हमने तुम तो कहीं चलो
अब तू इतनी दूर ले जा रहा हो यार बोलने के कहूँ हमें घर यार नहीं जाते अंदर ना हो जाएगी कौन होना कर एकदा वो सिस्टम तो बन गया जी लोना कहाँ देखने को मिले हैं चिल्ली पटेटो मिले उनको
ऐसे में देखा नहीं तुम हाँ साल खान मारेगा देख लिए
अगर हम चले गए एक नोड़ा बहुत हिड़ी है यार लट गया वो ये मोड़ी समूह छट्टी कर रहे यार डंडा मारा जाए ये बना जाए
डंडा दी डंडा
सब ड्रोन तो बचे तुम दोनों नहीं बचे
काय मेरे मोबाइल है
अगर महंगो मोबाइल है यार
चलो चलो कहाँ 30 की हो जा पूरी 20 की बताया रे मेरी हो जाएगी 10 1 मिनट मेरी 16 की दे सड़ी कैमरा हो रहेगा लाग आज चेक करें कैमरा ना अब यार जोड़ रे खटखट 30 50 वैसे कितनी बड़ी बनी है यार मोबाइल अच्छा बिना ही करवा दियो ऑर्डर कम से कम बोलेंगे
बनने का करवाओ ऐसा तो
तो मैं देख ले कितनी बनने तो ये अगर ज्यादा बने तो ये बनने का क्रॉप कट नहीं वो कर दी वाह क्वालिटी थोड़ी लो कर दी पूरी करने स्लाइड को सोनो में उस स्लाइड पे कटा
दवाइयां
तो आपने एडिटिंग का वो पता है 15 की कर
जाके मारो और को बिराड़ा है क्या
अब नहीं आई
मैंने भाई पंजाबी के करी मैंने भाई की
आलू बनाए तो भाई
कल को भाई जा पे आई प्रोजेक्ट
कल को अंजा पुंगरो खाए ले मैंने
कौन तो और इसको भाई बेटी हुई
सब्जी ले आए तो पुंगरिया तुम तो यार गलत मान रहे हो
40
मेरे को बड़ी
चालीस 15
तो उठा के बदल
3 मिनट को अपडेट
बना करो 45,000 रुपए की मशीन आ रही है
हां चाचा क्या बताओ मोहन पे बात करी थी तुमने कब जा रहे हो आए रे
ये तो मैं तो कम से कम
9 मिनट की देरी हुई है
काजा करो पर
तुम मोर
यार बाबा नहीं है यार
करा दे यार तो मछली
वो चलाता है
अकेले फट गई तो ऊपर समझ में नहीं जाओ
जा बता ससुरा लगे मेरा तो बात नहीं है
जब बॉडी होती तो अंदर
नहीं है तो मैंने खाते आए
अरे बात नहीं है
7 मिनट
8 किलो
भाई सेट बनेगा
मेरे पास में 2 साल लग रही
बात
कमेंट देख हां कमेंट आई देख रहे तू
वैसा का जिनको ना हो जाए तो 2 साल बाद पहले तो यही है
बातें पड़े माय गॉड यार
सारे कैमरा ब्लर कर दिए हम देखा भी करू 3 बजे पर ये खोल ले जा रे
चल क्या 5:30 बजे लग गई हो ये 4:30 बजे
जाके पे गवनी एक सिंगल भी नहीं को
किनके पे भंडारी नहीं
ये सोई है सोई ना जा संजय
आ जाओ चलो लाल तो सिनेमैटिक शूट ले हैं हां ले जाओ हम देख लोग में का 20 अरे तो सब 27 एंगेजमेंट देखी जाओ एंगेजमेंट रैंक पे ना है 8-13 कंटन की डाल रहे दलाल हम है कितने हैं सोनिया आ रही है रे कहानी को ऑडियंस काहे की अपडेट नहीं भैया बे यूनाइटेड स्टेट पे आई नहीं काहे तो कहां पे आई एक में 63% है दलाल सिनेमैटिक शॉट मूवी चल पे सिनेमैटिक हाथ ले भी तेरे जाओ में आई पहले वाले में देखिए कहां पे आई पहले वाले में अपडेट हुई नेक को देखती तो जियोग्राफी जब मतलब पूरी अपडेट नहीं भाई फुल अपडेट नहीं भाई जी मतलब कछु भी कोई अपडेट भाई शुरू ही के भाई हां फुल नहीं है जी शायद हमारे कल डाली थी जाता कल नहीं परसों तो एक आध दिन में होनी है अपडेट और व्यू तो या में कब खींचे व्यू जब